Hello guys, my name is Gustavo.
Hi, and I'm Alexa.
And welcome back to our channel, Let's Grow Together. And today is the 6th month of our project. You know, half a year, that's pretty exciting. We're still continuing on doing this project. And to be honest with you, we're gonna tell you all of our results and also give you a little bit more details in regards to what is outperforming and underperforming within our portfolio. So for the month of November, I actually lost $2.02. For the month of October, I made a total of $79.23. But ending by November, I had a total of $77.21. Now, if you compare that to our previous months, you know, September was a pretty hard month. You know, in the month of August, I was up $36 and it went all the way to $5. Well, in the month of September, that $5 went all the way to $77. So it's still a dramatic increase. Now, not every single month is always going to be an uptick, but those months that do bring you lower gains, those are the months that you want to be more aggressive with your money when it comes to investing. I wanted to show you pretty much which ones are my outperformers within my portfolio. And as you can see here, it's Nvidia. Nvidia is up 104%, with the next one being Tesla being up 93%. And then you can see on there, the following one is Apple with 29.68%. The ones that are performing the worst for me is, let's see, we have Disney at 27.44%, and then we have PayPal at almost 50%. That's kind of, yeah, that's scary. That's a little scary.
But don't worry, guys. Long term.
Honestly, I completely agree with that. You know, like, I feel like everything is becoming so digital, and just to keep a long story short, I think the next coming generation is going to definitely do everything online. And I think PayPal is going to be that, you know, huge company being introduced to, you know, whether it's your kids now or your grandkids, whatever the case is, and that's how they're going to make their first bank account. And then the one following after that would be MasterCard at 16.06%. Now, does that necessarily mean that they're not a good company to invest in? Not necessarily. I think most of these companies still have a ton of room to grow over the long term. You know, when in doubt, you always got to look at the graphs. If you looked into our IG, a great example of that is that I just recently posted is Disney. You know, 10 years ago, it was at about, I think it was like, you know, 10 years ago, it was at about, I think it was like $50 or $60 a share or something like that. Probably less. I can't remember on the top of my head, but now it's about $140 more. You know, at one point it was what, like 180, 190, maybe 200.
Before,
yeah, not too long ago, not too far of a distance.
That has been pretty much like every single company. If you compare it to like how it was 10 years ago, I think we did make some posts on Instagram where we had the before and after comparison, 10 years, or PayPal is pretty recent. I think it's a 6-year company.
Yes.
But it's double digit, you know, multiplying of what they've been before.
Right.
Which is awesome.
It is. And the great one, if you go follow us on IG, which is AG_money_moves. Tesla was 10 years ago. It was at like a $5 stock, you know, and now it's over $1,000. You know, that's wow. Yeah, you know, I don't know how many X's that is, but that's a ton of X's, you know. So for the month of November, going back into the project, you know, I made $77, lost $2, and we'll compare our portfolios once Alexandra gets into her portfolio.
Alrighty, so now my turn. The budget is the same as Gustavo mentioned earlier. It's $150, and I am going the active way, as I've always been for the past 6 months. It's been pretty thrilling, and I feel like November for me has been a little weird. Reason to that is because I went from like $64 to $54, which is like a $10 loss, but compared to Gustavo's loss is so much more. And I do know the reason behind it. The reason behind it is that companies that have been outperforming over the past couple months, like Tesla or Nvidia, I had kind of left behind. For instance, I did not put any money into Tesla since July. Shame on me. It's because I was focusing my attention a lot more on Amazon, that had like a 10% downfall a couple months ago, and then PayPal and what else? MasterCard. They have been like considerably low, so I was focusing all my attention over there. And I see it now, they're still down, and I'm losing a lot more compared to Gustavo. So what I decided to do from now on is not leave any company behind. I love my Tesla. Nobody's left behind. So what I've decided to do, I'm going to be adding $5 into every company, no matter what, outperforming or underperforming, $5 probably to each company, so nobody gets left behind. And then I'm going to be distributing the rest of the money based on my judgment, obviously, and based on what company at that certain time is like the lowest that I can possibly get it at. So I think that's pretty much what I did for November a little bit. It was a little bit of a weird month for me because I did try to put money into Tesla, which I'll show you guys on the screenshots coming after. I did try something out with Tesla this month. I did put a considerable amount of money into Tesla, and I bought it at a high price, so that brought up my average quite a lot. I think about $150 with like a $10 and $20 purchase, which is a lot for me because it's literally $150 the overall budget.
Right.
But I just wanted to try out how much my average would, change purchasing Tesla at that current price. It was, I think, at the peak, at its highest, about $1,100.
Yeah.
And I regret that, but it's okay long term. So yeah, I did put money when it dropped down to about 990 or 980. But even to that, I feel like putting a small amount of money into every company continuously would help my portfolio just grow more evenly. And like that gain or loss, it can be, I feel like, more evenly distributed. I won't have to be drastically very like huge amounts lower to one company compared to another one, which is like very much outperforming,
Right.
but in a small equity.
Right.
Like it was for Tesla or for Microsoft, even in Apple. I literally had probably an equity of $40 or $50, and we were like 6 months in, where I should have had more than that.
Well, that shows to go that even your outperformers, you shouldn't be leaving them behind, And I think we all get that fear. Even me, as a pretty experienced, I wouldn't say like experience as in like Wall Street experience, but a well-seasoned investor. It always occurs to my mind that whenever I do buy more shares, in my personal account at least, my average share price does continue to go up as the appreciating value of the stock goes up as well. Mm-hmm. But I just have to remember that, this is a long-term perspective play. This isn't a day-to-day play. Even if I buy it at its highest peak, I'm fairly confident in these companies that that whole average share price no longer affects me. It affects me sometimes to certain companies. Mm-hmm. For a great example of this is like, it's Disney. Disney has honestly, I've been adding more to my position, and right now it has been dramatically going lower. But as it goes lower and I continue to buy more, I continue to see my share price getting higher and higher. And with Disney theme parks continuously being shut down due to, circumstances around the world, which is usually their bread and butter, their theme parks, it's sort of hard to see the company continuously to grow if this, situation continues to get worse and worse. But I think over the long term, we all have been exposed to Disney products, whether it's by the theme parks, the channels, the movies, or the pretty much like their what is it called, like their toys and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I think Disney will, continue to outperform itself over a longer period of time. But a great example in regards to our underperformance evaluation is PayPal, right? Like, I'm actually losing a lot more money, even though I'm investing passively, than what Alexa's losing within the stock of PayPal. For reason for that is because she's been more selective on when she gets to buy the PayPal shares, compared to me. It's just a flat out percentage going into that company regardless of whether it's up or down.
It's a little tricky because we do have a small budget to work with. That's another factor. If it was a purchase of $10 within $1,000 of a budget, then it wouldn't make much of a difference, right? But I think that makes it more thrilling in a sense, because a small, you don't consider $5 to be much, even though it's a lot. Don't get me wrong. You can buy a lot of things. Maybe not right now with inflation, but
right. Back in the day.
Back in the day, but it's like, if you have an equity of $50, $5 is 10%, so that's a lot of money. So yeah, we're making the best we can.
We got to make the best out of it because our budget isn't that big, and you have to take into consideration, my personal account, I would literally put $1,000 a month. Not many people can put $1,000 a month, and yet again, I think we came up with the strategic strategy of hey, let's see what is a good middle ground. And I honestly believe $150, regardless of your budget, you can literally come up with that and see your money grow over a good period of time. I think it was maybe a week and a half before the month of the end of November, I was actually up $110, So that would have been about what? Almost $30, a little over $30.
Probably about
of a gain.
$100 range.
Yeah, from October to November. But, we have been slowly declining, which at the end of the day, I think it's an opportunity, especially if you're investing and if you have the extra capital to do it on days when it's down. By all means, do it. I highly suggest that because at the end of the day, you're going to really, really thank yourself long-term in the future for actually investing this money rather than allowing inflation to eat it up,
I wanted to add before you keep going, for your portfolio, you showed the video or the screenshot. It was up 15%, right?
Yes.
For 6 months, 15%. You don't get that every day anywhere else, right?
I don't think you get that in a bank account within a 5-year period,
So that's mind-blowing, and it's only been half a year. So yeah.
And comparing that to the S&P 500, which tracks 500 of the largest companies in the United States, just this year alone, the S&P 500 is up 23% year to date. That's about 11 months. We only been in there for 6 months, and we're at 15%. What is that? That's a 9% difference. Maybe less.
Are we doing the math?
No,
correctly?
23 and no, that's about 8% difference.
Yeah.
8, I was close. Whatever. You guys get it. But yeah, that just literally shows you that, one, we're not geniuses. Okay, we're not. But two, it shows you that regardless of what it comes to, certain companies will honestly outperform the S&P 500. It's just individually, when I was showing you through the screen share, Nvidia was up 109% for my portfolio. So if I would have dumped $150 every single month just to Nvidia, I would have probably just times that times 6. That would have been 600%. That's just theoretical numbers. And don't ever expose yourself to one company. Always have a nice basket of companies, because when you go into a store, you don't go into the mindset of all I'm gonna get is Reese's, all I'm gonna get is Snickers. No, you want to get some Twix, you want to get some some soda, you want to get
assorted flavors.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's true though, because imagine if you would have done that with PayPal. PayPal had like a spike of 100%, 110% during the pandemic, but now look at what it is.
Yeah, I'm down almost 50%, 48%.
Yeah,
you know?
and if you had all your money into PayPal, now you would have been discouraged because people tend to think more of short term other than long term. They want to get there faster, even though long term it's going to be doing great. But at the moment, you would have been panicking, and panic leads to taking out the money. And with that, you got to take out the losses. Then you don't want to go through that. So you got to diversify your budget.
Exactly. Yeah, because if I would have seen just my portfolio, $150 a month, go 50%, 48% low, I would have been puking. My stomach would have been flipped upside down. I would have been in the ER having a $5,000 bill. Because that's how disgusting that was.
And you would have been down 50%. That's
right.
a lot to take.
It is, but as you can see, due to these other companies, right, it keeps me afloat. I'm up 15% just in 6 months.
Lovely.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, we gave you pretty much a good understanding of our portfolio. Within the month of November, Alexandra is $8 less than I am. Even though I lost $2, she lost $10. So I'm actually up $8 within the month of November, even though we both lost money. But that's our comparison for our portfolio. I honestly can't wait to see how our portfolio goes after a year. Because, if we get 15% just in 6 months, I hope we got another 15 in the next 6 months.
And that keeps adding up every 6 months.
Compounding interest,
I know, a little bit differently, but
exactly.
Same concept,
exactly. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys stay safe, take care of your family.
Bye, guys.
Bye.